Hi guys, today we are going to see how to make a database connection in a Spring Boot. So let's start with our today's agenda. We are going to make the configuration in a Spring by using JPA annotation and Hibernate. We are going to create a data model class and a repository interface. We are going to create a REST controller class to process the HTTP request, and we are going to make the interaction with MySQL database. Now let's understand the Spring Boot architecture for this process. First, we are going to create a model class which is mapped with a database table. We are going to use JPA annotations for the creation of the model class. After that, we are going to create a service layer. Now, the service layer contains the logic for the insertion of a data or a deletion of a data or updation of data. We are fetching a data from a repository, so we are going to create an interface repository which extends JPA repository. This is used for insertion of a dependency injection. After that, we are going to create a controller class. In controller class, we are processing the HTTP request coming from the client side. So this is the overall architecture and a flow of a process when we are making connection with a database. Now let's start with a live example. Now we are going to create a table as a product, and the columns are ID, which is primary key and auto generated or auto incremented value. Second column as a name, which have a variable as a string. Third column is quantity, having a data type as integer. Fourth column is price, having a data type as a double. The operations we are going to perform are insertion of a data, updation of the data, deletion of the data, and display of the data. So these are the four operations we are going to carry out. For this example, I am going to use Eclipse. So let's start the practical. Click on the file, click on new, and select Spring Starter Project. Here we want to give a name. So I am giving the name of the project is, as I am going to create insertion, updation, deletion. So I am giving name as CRED product. Here we want to specify the company name as per standard. So I am keeping it as a default. So here will be com.example. The artifact ID is a project name. So I am changing over here as product. So I have changed only the artifact com.example.product. The Java version I am using, that's a Java 8. And for the dependencies I am using Maven. Now click on the next. Now here we want to add the dependencies required for the project. I'm going to create a web application. So I'm using web. So I'm selecting Spring Web. I want to make a connection with MySQL server. So I'm going to select MySQL driver. After that, I want to make JPA annotations. So I'm going to take Spring Data JPA. And one more library I'm going to add, that is Lombok library. Now Lombok library comes with annotation like @data or @all argument constructor, @no argument constructor. So we don't want to write boilerplate code. It means This library has annotation at the data. If I use that annotation, then I don't want to write getter and setters methods. Now click on the next, click on finish. Now this project is available in the package explorer. Now just wait for a few seconds or a few minutes so that all the dependency gets loaded. So here you can see that import getting started. So all the dependency gets automatically loaded inside the project. Now you can see that all the dependencies are gets loaded. So just go in the project. Now just have a look at the project structure. In the pom.xml file, we get all the dependencies which we have added. So you will find that I have added dependency for the data JPA, for the starter web, for the connector of MySQL and Lombok. So these are dependencies we have added. Later we can add dependencies also. So the pom.xml, it's a Maven file which adds the dependencies. Now let's have a look at a project code. We get a package src/main/java. It contains all the Java code. src/main/resource. It contains resources like properties. So application.properties file. In this file, we are going to make connection with a MySQL. So here we want to write a properties for the connection. We have to specify the username and password of the database. In src/test/java, we write test cases for our classes. In a package com.springboot.webapp, we get a class CRUD product application. It contains a main app. It contains public static void main. So the program execution starts from here. Now, as we want to make a connection with a database, first add the properties. Here we want to specify the database URL. So spring.datasource.url. I want to specify this as JDBC :MySQL :2/localhost default port of MySQL, that is 3306 name of the database. So I am opening the XAMPP server. Here I have started the XAMPP server. Now click on the admin. The database is opened. For this project, I am going to use a database SIT. So here I am going to create a table. Now the table will be created automatic. So here we want to specify the database, that is SIT. So already I have created a database SIT. I am making a connection like this. So first we have to specify spring.datasource.url JDBC :MySQL, that is default, :2/localhost, because I am using a localhost server, default port of XAMPP, and a database name. After that, we want to specify username and password. So spring.datasource.username. By default, username is root for the MySQL. After that, we want to specify the password. Now, for MySQL, I don't have a password, so I am keeping this as a blank. When we install a MySQL, there is no password by default, so I am keeping this as a blank. After that, we want to specify a driver class. So spring dot data source dot driver class name. Now the driver class name we want to specify as com dot mysql dot jdbc dot driver. So this is a driver class name for a MySQL. So these are the basic properties we want to add for a database connection. Now, as we are using Hibernate as an ORM tool, we want to add some additional properties for the dialect. So I'm adding spring.jpa.properties.hibernate.dialect. Now dialect is nothing but it is a class and it is a bridge between a Java JDBC types and SQL types. So this dialect name is org.hibernate.dialect.mysql dialect. So it's a MySQL file dialect. So it is a class and it is a bridge between a Java JDBC types and SQL types. After that, we want to add another property, that is spring.jpa.hibernate and DLL atom. Now this value I am keeping as an update. Now this value means if there is a table and I want to add additional columns, then it is going to update the same table. If the table is not there, then it is going to create a new table. After that, the last property I am adding, that is spring.jpa.showSQL, and this value is in the form of a boolean, so I am keeping this as a true. It means that whatever the SQL queries gets fired, that is shown in the console. So on the background, suppose I want to see the queries fired, then it is shown on the console by using this property. So these are the properties we want to add in the application.properties file. So first we have added a database connections, and after that we have added properties of the ORM Hibernate tool. Now I want to add the first class, that is model class. Now right click on it, select new and select class. Now the class I am going to add in a package model. So I am creating a package model. So the package name is com.springboot.webapp.model, and I am creating a package as a product. I am creating a class as a product. So the class name or a model name is a product which is mapped with a database table product. So click on the finish. Now here we want to add some annotations. So as I am going to create a table, so I am taking annotation as an entity. After that I am going to add annotation table. After that I want this annotation, that is data. After that I am adding all argument constructor, and I am adding no argument constructor. Now let's understand these annotations first. As I am going to create a table, so I am going to add the entity mapping, the table, and a data. Now data annotation makes getter and setters. Now As we are adding a data annotation, it means we don't want to create getter and setter method for this particular class. Same for the all argument constructor. We don't want to create a constructor with all argument, and we don't want to create a constructor with no argument because we have used annotation. Here we have to specify the table name. If we have not specified the table name, it means that the table name should be same as a class name. So the class name product is same as a table name. So table name product is going to be create. Now I am adding the properties. So the first value I want that product ID. After that I want a product name. After that I want product quantity, and I want product price. I want first column as a primary key, and I want this as a auto generated. So click on it. So it should be, I should be capital. Okay, so we have created a table. Now this is, we have created a model. Now we want to create a repository. Now again right click on it, select new and select interface. I'm creating a package as a repository, and I'm creating interface as a product repository. Now this product repository, it should extend a class that is JP repository. Now the first value we want to specify, that is table name, so it is a product, and the ID is nothing but the data type of the primary key, so it is integer. So click on it and import, select the import. So I create a repository. As it is a repository, now add the annotation repository. Now we want to create a service. So again right click on it, select new and select class. Create a package as a service, and the class name is product service. Now make annotation as a service. Now here we want the variable of the repository. So I want to create a variable of the repository. Now how we are going to create it? Private product repository, and the variable name is repository. Now at the runtime we want to make the object should be created, so the dependency should be injected at a runtime. So I'm taking the annotation as auto-wired. Auto-wire means wiring the bins together at a runtime. Now I'm going to create the first function. Now suppose I want to add the values in a table, so I'm writing a function public product add product. Now here we want to write a logic for data retrieval or the updation or the insertion. We are creating or we are using a repository for insertion, updation and deletion. So I am making auto-wire of the product repository. So repository is product repository. Variable name is repository. Now at a runtime, the dependency should be injected. So I am taking this as a AutoWired. Now I am writing first function for the insertion of our data. So the function name is public product add product. I am passing the object of product. Now we want to return repository.save. It should be saved as a product. Now this save method is an inbuilt method which is present in the JPA repository. So when you click on it, so here we will get the save method. Now this repository gets called in the service layer. Now we want to create a controller to get the HTTP request and to send the response. So right click on it, click on new, select a class. Now here we want to specify the package for the controller. So I am creating a new package name as a controller, and the class name is product controller. Now first make the annotation this as a REST controller. Now we want a service class. So I'm creating an object of a service class. So product service and service. So at a runtime the dependency should be injected. So I am making it as a AutoWired. I am writing a single function to save a record. So public product add product. Now we want to pass a values, so I am using annotation at the request body. I am passing the values of a product object. Now here we want to return the values, so return service that odd product and the object of the product. So import classes. Now this function should have a mapping. So I am using a post mapping because I am sending a data, and this should be mapped with the URL add product. So for the formatting of a code, you can press Ctrl Shift and F. So formatting will be done. Now I want to run the program. Now let's run the application. Now right click on it and click on run and select Spring Boot app. Now when you run application, you can see the Tomcat has started. The Tomcat has embedded and it has a default port as 8080. Now we can test our API. So for the testing purpose, I am using Postman. Now here, as I am sending a post request, here I can write localhost colon 8080 slash, open the controller and write the mapping. So add product. Now select a body, select a row, and in the JSON format we want to add a data. Now the ID is a primary key and auto increment. We don't want to pass the value of the ID. We have to pass a value of name, quantity and price. So the column name is name, is in the form of a string. Second column quantity, I'm taking this as 1. Third column, that is price, I'm taking this as a 5000. Now click on the send. Before that you can click on beautify so that the proper alignment is done. Now click on the send. Now here you can observe that the table gets created, the values are not added. Now let's check on the table. Now open the XAMPP, click on admin. Now SIT is our database. The table name is product. The table name gets created, but the values are inserted as a null. Now when you observe that the query is fired, so select next val. So this is the query is fired. Insert into this query is also fired. Now if this problem comes, then we can remove @data, and here we can create getters and setters. So right click on it, click on the source and click on generate getters and setters. Select all and generate. Now I generated this. Now again rerun the application. Now the application has started. Now click on the postman and click on send. Now you can see that the data has submitted successfully. Now cross check this with a database. Refresh this. Now you can observe that the data has successfully added. So like this we can make the addition of the data. So this was for today's lecture. In this lecture we have understood how to insert a data in a database. In the next lecture we can display how to show a database, how to show a record from a table. So this was for the today's lecture. Thank you.